for today. As a TEDx speaker, a mindset effectiveness expert, and an award-winning producer and international and high-performance results coach, Pina De Rosa has been designing and leading live workshop, teleclasses, and webinars for over 12 years now. She has been nominated for the Los Angeles Business Journal Women Making a Difference 4 years in a row, 2010 through 2013. She speaks 5 languages, English, French, Italian, Spanish, and German, and holds 4 passports. Audience and clients worldwide, from Los Angeles to London, from Sydney to Hong Kong, and from Auckland to Kilimanjaro, are always inspired in action by Pina's commitment, empowering each individual to live their fullest potential, delivering fast and lasting release of those internal blocks, fears, and self-doubt that get in the way of us in taking action and experience quality of life. I'd like to introduce my friend and a great speaker, Pina De Rosa.
Good morning, everyone. So, by looking around here, I can tell that there's not a single person here from hearing you speak that doesn't want the ability to reach more clients and serve more clients, and therefore create more results, more cash, and more quality of life. So if that's the case, then you're in the right place this morning. Which reminds me, there's a story of the 2 lumberjacks, the Canadian lumberjack, the Norwegian lumberjack, and they're doing what lumberjacks do, you know, they chop wood. And they find themselves at the lumberjack competition, the 2 finalists. And that competition starts at 8 a.m., ends at 4, and basically the one that chops the most pieces of wood wins the competition that day. So at 8 o'clock, they start chopping together, and off they go at the same rhythm until about 8:50, when the Canadian hears the Norwegian stop. The Canadian continues, and then at 9 o'clock, they are now back on the same rhythm, chopping wood. And then at 9:50, the Canadian hears the Norwegian stop, again for 10 minutes. And then on the hour, the Norwegian picks up again. And this goes on till 4 o'clock. So the Canadian's all puffed up and ready to go pick up his trophy come 4 o'clock. And when they actually give the trophy for most chopped wood to the Norwegian, the Canadian's like, how did you do that? I heard you take a break for 10 minutes every hour, and the rest of the time we were chopping at the same rhythm. What is your secret? What did you do? How could you possibly win this? And the Norwegian says, well, it's pretty simple. While you kept chopping, I was sharpening my axe. And that's what you're doing here this morning. You're sharpening your axe. So what I've prepared for you for today specifically is something that allows you to take an instantly applicable takeaway in your business so that you can serve more clients. By taking this hour, 2 hours this morning together to really look and see at how can you be even more effective in your communication. Where is it that there may be blocks in your business that you don't even know are there, and therefore you're not resolving them because they are subconscious. The way that I work with my speaking and my coaching is that I address both the conscious and the subconscious blocks, because it's only about 5% of our brain that is conscious, and we all have friends or days ourselves sometimes that it's not even that 5%. And then the subconscious is really the 95%, the one that runs the ship. So for today, specifically, if you would like to be able to understand how the brain works and operates such that you can harness all of its power, not just the conscious, but also the subconscious power, 100% to be able to elevate your results, your communication to the next level, then you're definitely in the right place. So this would be a time to turn to the person next to you and say, you're in the right place this morning, and so am I. Go for it. Very good. Very good. So the communication effectiveness and getting past these blocks, you know, it's what I've customized for you is a specific tool that will allow you to then take your results to the next level whether it's in your business practice, whether, like your flyers, your websites, your newsletters, or even at home, with your loved ones, with your teenagers, with your holidays, all the cousins coming out of the woodworks and all these holiday parties that are coming up. So this is a topic, though, communication effectiveness is a topic that we could address for hours. So today, in the 20 minutes that we have together, I'll give you as much as I can, and I actually brought some handouts and make sure that we have really awesome pens for those. I'm going to start passing them around for those who may not have a pen, provided by Miss Gina here. Thank you for the pen. Because I want to make sure that it's applicable and it's instantly effective for you. But because we could address it for hours, one of the things that I've also prepared for you is an opportunity for you and I to work one-on-one at no cost to you if you would like to take this conversation, this topic further, specifically into your business. So I'll let you know how we can do that if that's something that you feel you would like to do by the end of the 20 minutes and you want more. So that'll be my gift to you. So when information reaches our brain, what happens is we start processing it and we start creating our own interpretation of what happened. Our own internal communication of what happened. We've got sound effects. I love it. Sometimes it sounds like that in our brain, doesn't it? And so this is our perception, our representation of the world. And there are ways that we represent the world through our five senses. Now, even though what I'm going to address today, and I brought for you, actually, Steve, if you would be my amazing one a white for the day. Yes, please, take one and pass it down. We're going to play with this particular test that I've brought for you. You can't fail it, don't worry, nobody's going to collect it. It's just for you to start to investigate where might be the hidden block for you in your business communication. Because what you'll realize is that through our five senses, there are 4 representational systems. And these representational systems, modalities, that's another way that they're called, they're basically how we process reality. And they're visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and AD. AD stands for auditory digital. And you'll see them on the handout. The handout that has the column, was I smart enough to save a copy for myself? Oh my goodness. La la. Thank you, Hank.
You're welcome.
So the visual, the auditory, the kinesthetic, and the AD. And for those of you at home, actually, or those of you in the chamber that couldn't make it today, just go on my site, on the gratitudeinternational.com site, and you'll be able to get this as well. Because thanks to Bruce, not just those of you who are brave enough to get up at 5 or 6 a.m. this morning can get this, but actually also the members that are busy this morning will be able to view this later on. So the visual, the auditory, the kinesthetic, and the AD, it's not just there's people who are visual and there's people who are auditory and there's people who are kinesthetic and people who are AD. It's actually how we communicate. We communicate visually, we communicate auditorily, we communicate kinesthetically and in an auditory digital fashion. And the statistics, it's good to know what they are as far as to bear those in mind for your marketing materials, because in our sort of first world country, the statistics are 60% of communication is through visual communication. It doesn't mean just posters, it means your newsletter, for example, or your marketing materials, will have words, about 60% of the words that will appear in that first column. So let's imagine, for example, you're a real estate, one of my clients, a real estate agent. And if he asks, what do you think about the house, to a client that he's showing the house to, he wants to be able to hear if that person is communicating back visually, auditory, kinesthetically, or AD. So if they'll say things like, oh, I just love, how the rounded molding on all the ceilings, or those, little corners there, that person is actually communicating visually. And I won't go into more specific examples, because today I want to make sure that we take the test together and that you have something specific for you. But you'll notice they'll say things like, oh yeah, that just looks beautiful, the views are amazing. The same person, the same house, a different person might say, we might be a little bit too close to the school. We don't have kids yet, and we work from home, and we don't want to necessarily be, on recess every day at 4 times a day, or however often kids go into recess. Or the kinesthetic folks will be like, oh, this house, I have such a good vibe about it, I love it. You know, so it's the same house, but the person that's hearing it differently, or seeing it differently, or feeling it differently, will be communicating it differently. And then the AD folks are those who are very, very logical, and they'll say like, oh gosh, the volume distribution in this house is fantastic because you've got the 2 bedrooms and the 2 opposite, and then the walk-in closet, you can take down this wall, and it becomes an extra cubic foot. That's actually my mom 10 years ago before I bought my house. That's exactly how she sounded about my house. I saw none of that. We were looking at the same house. So we see things differently. And what you'll hear today in this little test that we're going to take together right now is that, oh yeah, I do that, oh yeah, I do that, I do that, and I do that. Like, you'll recognize that you have all 4 of these representational systems, just like you have all 5 senses, just like you have right hand and left hand. But there's one that's your primary one. And the discovery today, the reason I brought you this test is because the discovery, the key to get past that obstacle for you today, is to find what is that innate, automatic one for you, the primary one, because what's happening is you're leaving on the table the other 3. And if you do the math, that's 75% of your sales that you're unknowingly possibly leaving on the table. Because you're not going to be able to go around, you know, selling houses and giving this little representational system test to your client, but by you knowing what yours is, then you'll be able to expand into the other 3. So today the challenge will be not just to say, oh yeah, I do that, I do that, I do. You'll do all 4, like you have right hand, left hand, but to discover, are you right-handed or are you left-handed? And then to start becoming a little bit more versed in practice with the other 3. All right, so does that sound good and useful for you? Yes. So that you can serve 100% of your clients. That's my intention for you today. So it was worth getting up for, at least getting up so early for. So if we could, you know, the representational system test will take about 5 minutes to fill this out. And you can start filling this out if you already figured out how to do it. It's basically on the left side of the page here. You want to start filling out with 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4 for each of the 5 questions. I don't want to see 2 2s or, you know, some people put a 3.5. There's always someone creative. But I want you to just make the statement there for how it is today on a Thursday morning. It could change tomorrow, that's fine. But you're committing for today for the answer, which is the one that's least descriptive of you. Then you'll put a 1. And then you'll put a 2 for the one that's a little less like you. Good morning. We love our gardeners. They're keeping this place look pristine, don't they? And then 1, 3, the next best description, and 1, 4. So for each one of those, there's no way to fail it. I want you to just put 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4. And the representational systems, as you do this, I want you to know it's our own special language of the world. It's how we perceive the world. So there's no right and wrong. It's just how we feel it, how we see it, how we process it. And it actually impacts all mental processes. So thinking, remembering, imagining, the sense of perception, and by understanding, the reason why I want you to do this today is because by understanding this today, it'll allow you to impact your communication with yourself and with others in a much more easier and effective way, and to be able to regain control of how we perceive things and how we interpret things. So just 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4 for each of the statements. And if you're not sure, you just for how it might be for the next half hour, then you can change it again later. So these are called modalities, representational systems. And like I said, if you're not here, like if you're watching this video because you were not able to make it to the chamber this morning, just go on my site and you'll be able to do this at home as well. And then let's look and see if you are finished, if you could raise your hand so I just have a sense if you need like 30 seconds or a minute, or maybe another minute or so. If you're finished and you can figure out the top right box, then go for it. The best way to figure it out is just to read that one line. If not, I'm happy to explain it once everybody is able to do it together. That way there is no rush and we're all doing it roughly at the same time. So representational systems, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and ABA. You'll be curious to see if your primary one is really the one that you thought it was, because what's happening is you're actually teaching, you're speaking, you're writing, all in that one representational system and leaving out the other three, unknowingly leaving sales on the table and not serving as many of your clients as you could. So let's do another little calibration here. How many have finished that first left section? Okay, good. About half the room. So for those of you who already finished the first, the left section, you want to go to the top quadrant on the right, the one that says Q, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can figure it out, great. If not, I'll be there with you in about 30 seconds once everybody's finished the top left, so I can give the instructions once to everybody together. And this is really so that you're fully empowered to serve your clients or be able to have effective communication with your loved ones at home and with yourself as well. And if you finish the top right quadrant as well, like you're super, super fast, you're probably an AD person, then do the bottom right quadrant as well. And I'm going to actually give the instructions in about another 10 seconds. It looks like if you're finished with the top left, or the one on the left, if you can look up, that way I can see and not rush anybody. All right, good. It looks like enough have, almost the whole room has finished this section. So, for this quadrant, let me put this down and actually project. For this quadrant right here, what you want to do, since you'll have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, now they may 1, 4, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 1, 4. It may be in a different order, but you're only going to have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4. If you weren't creative about it, you actually did it the way it's intended. All you want to do is simply, so let's imagine that it says 2, 1, 3, 4, that might be your order. Then all you want to do is simply transcribe it as 2, 1, 3, 4. So you're basically matching the same order that they're in that number 1, and you'll match it right here in this number 1 right here. Okay, so you're basically transcribing those digits in the same order over here to the top right quadrant. If you have a particular confusion about it, raise your hand and I'll come see you personally. But it's basically transcribing, transporting the same, the way order that they're down here horizontally. All those years of Cosmo tests, those of us who did it, trained us for this day. Yeah, so you're basically just transporting them over. So instead of being now all horizontal, there'll be question 1, question 2, question 3, 4, and 5. The 5 one is more of a statement, but still. Anyone has a question or clarity that needed about that, or you're cool with it? Yes, sir?
How long is your TED Talk?
19 minutes. Most TED Talks are 18, and I had an extra. I'm Italian, what can I say? I was born in Italy, so I was like, a little extra time, you know. Google it, or it's actually even embedded on my site from their site. I'd love your feedback.
Why did you run to Switzerland?
Why did we run to Switzerland? Ask my dad. He wanted us to learn all those languages. So the last bit, this is the one where all the synapses fire all at the same time, right? So see how it says now you'll have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and a 5, right, where it says Q up here, right? Everybody with me there? Fantastic. So in the K, whatever that number is, 1K, so let's assume there is a 3 there. There might be a 1, there might be a 2, a 4, whatever it is. So what you'll want to do is, it'll say here K1, so you'll find the 1 here, you'll find the K, and you'll put that 3 over there, if that's the 3. Let me see if I can actually, so if that was 3, 2, 1, 4, for example, then if you have your 3, your 2, your 1, and your 4 up here, then you'll put your 3 under K, because that's what the 3 value is. You'll put the 2 under A, because that's what the value is over there. And then you'll put your 1 under B, under visual right there. And then the last one will be the 4, the AD. It could be in any order, but you're basically just crossing them over and cross-referencing them over. And then you'll do the same for question 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And in the end, you just tally them up. So we'll come around. That's our 5-minute heads up. I'm going to come around and see if there's any last minute kind of support check-in. And then we'll debrief this together. No questions? Do I have to separate everything? I love it. I love it.
So we just take 3 and push.
You got it. Yeah, exactly. And then you'll put the 1 right there. That's okay. There's always ways to
It would be wall.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Alexandra.
Well, whenever like, how's she doing with the new baby? Oh, she's doing great. So, one K, and you'll just tally them across until you get your total. You got it.
Yes.
Usually it's the last thing that comes right before clarity. Perfectly in
Julie.
Well, that tells you where you're more visual, if you're more.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. So in your, it sounds like everybody's pretty much got some your totals there. Remember, when you get those totals, they're there to inform you how you communicate. It doesn't mean that you are visual. You might be, but it's just how your communication is. So you tend to use words more like, imagine this, picture that, does it look good? Versus if you're more higher, like if you're higher in the AD, you'll be like, that makes sense. You know, and it'll say, I understand. You know, or if you're more on the kinesthetic, you'll be like, I don't get it. Or it's like, you'll be like, ooh, get a grip of that. You know, so these are all there for you to learn how to discern and decipher which is your primary one. And then what you want to do is go through your newsletter, go through your flyers, go through your web materials. You don't have to change everything and anything, but whatever your primary one is, like your highest number, filter through your website for the other 3 and start, you know, even just with a simple thesaurus, this basically can function as a simple thesaurus, and revisit some of those words and replace them so that you're now reaching 100% of your audience, not just the 25% that happens to be the same modality, the same representational system that you are. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Does it sound good?
Yes.
You feel me? Very good. See, as a speaker, then if you're addressing your audience and you don't have time to give them a representational system test, you can simply go through your presentation and say, okay, do you follow me? That's more kinesthetic. And then you'll cycle through and like, okay, how does that look to you? Okay, does it make sense? So cycling through those questions, basically by cycling through the different predicates, the different expressions, you'll be able to reach 100% of your audience. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Yes. Where can you apply it? I just want to hear popcorns. Just one word here and there. Where do you apply this? Where can you see this applicable? On the phone. Brilliant. Where else?
Face to face.
Face to face. Yep. In what areas of your life? In what parts of your life?
Emails.
Emails. Brilliant. Absolutely. Yep.
Text messages.
Text messages. Absolutely. Social media. What else?
Personal relationships.
Personal relationships. Yep. Teenagers and little ones and older ones. Yes. Puppy dogs. Everybody. So now, to wrap it up, I told you I would give you an opportunity to work with me at no cost to you one-on-one. So Mr. Steve Bravidoro, another compatriot here.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind just passing one and take you down. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jack.
Well, I'm going to do a drawing right now for a session with me, one-on-one, at no cost to you. Because have you ever had the tools to do something that makes a difference and not gotten the results that you wanted? As simple as having a hammer and it didn't quite build the fence that you had in mind. Some people are brilliant at that, some people are... Or have you ever had those tools, but you actually didn't even bring them out to use them? So if you feel that there's something in your life, whether it's communication in your business, today we looked at sales and effectiveness in business, but it could be maybe just your health, your mindset, your personal relationship, whatever it is that you feel you're not living to the level of effectiveness that you know you have, like you're a Ferrari, but you're going in second gear and you're taking surface streets. I love taking the freeway exit to here because it passed by the Ferrari sign. I'm like, that's cool. So what if you're a Ferrari and you're going surface streets, you know, second gear, third gear instead of on the freeway? Then the strategy session is really for you because it'll be one-on-one, just me and you, on Skype or on the phone, and we'll make sure that you're in sixth gear on the freeway purring the way that that Ferrari was intended. Okay, so it's not for the faint at heart, because the strategy session is really intended for someone who wants to be in action by the top of that hour, and you will be, I promise. So I'm going to do a drawing right now. For those of you who really, really want it, but you don't win the drawing today, if you got value from today, if you enjoyed it, if there's something that you felt like, oh gosh, that was useful, and now I can apply it in my life, and it was worth getting up for, then please tell Bruce, my fabulous, amazing videographer here. It'll take 30 seconds, and I will give that session to that person as well. Thank you. So who's the innocent hand who will help me collect for the drawing? Yes?
Okay, so whoever doesn't have their card in, do you want to come up and put it in?
Yep, of course. Even more effective. I love it. Bridget, you're wearing my favorite color. I almost wore it this morning. We would have been like Wonder Twins. Thank you for having us today. Yes, sir.
What's the, you have auditory and auditory digital.
The AD, yeah, it's a subtle difference. The auditory are those people who love to spend time on the phone. They can repeat step-by-step instructions so easily. They're like, yeah, I hear you, or they'll say, listen to me, like, all the time. And you're like, I'm right here. Listen to me, I'm not listening to you. So they'll use auditory expressions. The AD folks are auditory digital. So they're the people who seem a little bit more aloof, because not only they have voices in their heads, but they have voices about the voices in their heads. There's a whole committee going on. They're like twice removed from reality, because reality comes at us, and we process it, and then we're processing that we're processing. So you just ask them a question, and they're like, somewhere else. And you're like, huh? Very analytical, absolutely. Now, if you have two that are the same, you might be a synesthesia. I'm a synesthesia of visual and AD. So to me, Excel spreadsheets, I'm in heaven, because I love things that are organized, that are visual, and that makes sense. You know, catalogs with sales. Oh, fantastic. You know, like, it's like the way you can actually figure out the way you and your sister, for example, shop differently. Because for me, catalogs are amazing, because I'm visual and AD. So if it's on sale and it looks pretty, I'll try it on at home and I'll return it if I don't want it. My sister drives her crazy because she can't touch it. She's kinesthetic. She's like, why would I shop for a catalog? I need to touch this sweater. So we have different buying strategies. So with this, you can actually figure out so many strategies, not just communication strategies. Alrighty.
Would you like to pick or go for more questions, Q&A? Or?
Whatever you guys would like. Actually, I would like you to pass them in, the forms as well, because whoever wins, I need to know the answer to best prepare for the session.
We have
So,
about 3 minutes for Q&A.
yeah, so pass them in the meantime.
Both pages?
Just the one.
Just the one, just the
If you want to
strategy session if you want me to consider you for the win. So I need to have that in order to have that. Yes, go ahead. Any questions? Questions, clarity?
Just the one sheet.
Where does this clarify?
Well,
Yes.
how, I don't know if I should ask this, but
It's
how
okay.
do you do it? I mean, how do you approach
How do you approach it?
that to assist in us in what our issue is, I guess? I don't know what's the head of it.
Oh, okay. The different modalities that I use, so this is a modality that I chose for a 20-minute talk, but I'm a certified hypnotherapist and neurolinguistics programming practitioner. I taught gender dynamics for 7 years. I have coaching background that goes, I haven't really talked about me today because it's really about you, but it's a fair question. So it goes about 12, 13 years back of professional coaching. And based on what you write, I would be able to, in that one-on-one, be able to tell you how we would do it. For some people, you have a tummy ache and it might be just a cleanse. For some people, they just need to, an appendectomy. And for some people, it might just be a massage, so it's different modalities depending on what the tummy ache really is about. But I'll tell you this, I'm more like a surgeon than a therapist because I want to make sure we go in, we go deep, and we go permanent. So if instead of massaging the tooth if it hurts, we'll just do a root canal if it's been hurting and if it's necessary. That way you can move on and smile and not have to come to the dentist for the next 52 weeks for 45 minutes every week. And let's just go in, out. Sounds good. You can smile again.
All right.
All right. Anyone else? The innocent hand for Bridget. Sorry, actually, you should hold this.
And you want to pick it?
I want to pick it.
I've tried to mix them up.
Now I'm going to go on the honor system. Whoever card I pick, you got to tell me that you turned that in because I'm going to be able to prepare for that session by what you wrote in there. And then I'll email you. We'll figure out a time.
Go like this.
How about this? Yeah, we can go like that. But since I already picked this one, I'll do two. Generous. Today is the International Day of Gratitude, and since my company name is Gratitude International, we'll just go with the extra generosity.
So who's the winner there?
Oh, cool!
You're my over.
Oh,
Because I remember the 32nd. So I hope I'm saying the name right, but I remember your 32nd. It was awesome. From SCORE, Edita? Yes, because I have a client for you. That's why I remember you. I have someone to send you.
okay.
Fantastic. So we'll set it up. If you can set it up with Bruce. He has my availability and timer sheet. And,
Oh, I didn't turn mine in.
oh, quick.
I'll fill out the rest of it.
Yeah.
I was too busy listening to you.
Thank you. While she shuffles, any other questions or any takeaways or
I'm going to win.
go for it.
For 2 years, Jacqueline.
If you want to win, Jacqueline, and if you don't, remember, you can always do a 30-second video with Bruce, and we'll sign you in. That'll be my thank you.
At times.
Okay.
No.
It's pronounced
We'll need to
Nellian.
spell out emails and phone numbers and that name, Mr. or Mrs. Bruce.
Oh, Rouse.
Rouse? All right.
I'm the mister.
The Mr. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't read it. Oh, and you're at a 10. Perfect. On a scale from 1 to 10. I only work with people who are at a 10. So
Nice.
fabulous. If you can spell it out,
Jeff? Oh, it's Jeff with a G.
yeah.
Jeff Rouse.
If you can print it, sorry, that's the word I was looking for. And then see Bruce and he'll
insinuating
set up timing and all that. So thank you for how you participated. I'll stick around if there's any questions or anything you would like. If you have, businesses, thank you. If you have businesses that want to increase sales and serve your clients or mom groups that want to increase effectiveness in something in their area, just call me, bring me in, and I'll waive my speaking fee for you guys because there's a chamber and I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, a big round of applause for Pina De Rosa. She has a wealth of information amazing, and she's only disseminated a part of it, I know. Being a TEDx speaker, I don't know if you guys follow TED Talks, but she has spoken at length at TEDx, and it's just amazing. It's online, if you want to look it up, the TED Speak, and the TED Talk that she did, and it's amazing. Anyways, thanks again, Pina. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jamie Farrell with Canon Solutions America. I really liked what Pina had to say because I have to talk to a lot of different types of people and I have to present proposals to a lot of people. And I found out I was AAD, which is very analytical and fact-based, and I felt like that's how I was presenting to people, is A plus B equals C, and that makes sense, but it wasn't always what people needed to get from me in order to move forward with the sale. So I hope that working with Pina is going to help me learn how to communicate with other people effectively so that they feel comfortable with me and we can form a great working partnership and move forward doing business with each other.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Souza, and I have a bookkeeping business management firm called Souza & Associates Inc., located here in Calabasas. And I'm also a very proud board member of the Calabasas Chamber as the first vice chair. And I'm here today at the breakfast, and we heard an amazing speaker, Pina, and I highly recommend her for many reasons. The first and foremost reason is the fact that since I'm president of my firm, I have to get out there and meet a lot of people, and it is very important that I speak well and just really project professionally and keep the interest going. So today's talk was very special to me because she talks about auditory, visual, kinesthetic, auditory, digital, and really knowing who you are and how you project yourself. And I just think it's really important that you listen to her, hear what she has to say, and she can help you. If you have any of these problems or concerns, she can be there for you to help you work through them, to make yourself a better person or to make you to what you want to be, and hopefully build your business, because that's what we want to do here. So please give her a call and let her know of your interest. And she just did the talk here at the breakfast. So if you have a group or an organization, please give her a call and get her information, because she's well worth it. Again, this is Jacqueline Souza, and please give her a call. Thank you.
Good morning. I had the pleasure of meeting Lena this morning and learned about what she offers. And as a multi-business owner, I found what she had to say really right on and quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to having a meeting with her. Actually, speak of the devil, here she is. So again, thank you for your time today, and I look forward to meeting with you.
Hello, my name is Trisha Lucero, and I'm a co-owner of Besitos Boutique in Calabasas, fine women's wear. And I really enjoyed Pina's speaking today. I learned a lot about my style of communication and how to better use those skills for my advertising.
Hi, I'm Grandma Sharon Rose, Diamonds and Champagne Wholesale Jewelers and DivorceRingNow.com. I'm everywhere. I'm in 5 Chamber of Commerce and various women's groups, and we keep trying to raise money for charities. And today, I saw the most awesome speaker. She was talking about feelings and audio and visual, and you know what? I would recommend this session to absolutely anybody. I'm Grandma Sharon Rose. Reward Yourself Jewelry has no calories.
Hi, I'm Monica Klein from Coaching for Health, the home of the Skinny Jeans weight loss program and soon to be released Skinny Jeans lifestyle book. I just want to say I love Pina. I was fortunate enough to attend her first Gratitude Summit, and it was an incredible experience. Women sharing about their lives, about their work, about everything. And I just want to say I thank you, Pina, for creating that. Today, I was fortunate again to share Pina's talk at the Calabasas Chamber, and it was Pina had us working, getting to know who we are, how we communicate, whether we're auditory, visual, kinesthetic, or auditory digital. And apparently I'm kinesthetic and visual, so it's great. These tools are great to help us in our work, in our business, and in our lives. So thank you, Pina.
Hi, my name is Jeff Summer. My company is Now Services. We're a same-day package delivery service in the San Fernando Valley. We also do mobile notary and attorney service work. Today I had the pleasure of listening to Pina, and actually I've been coming to the chamber for many years, and she grabbed the attention of everyone. I could hear the synapses of people's brains just really listening with the intention of making a difference. I know for me it reminded me of things that I'd already forgotten, and it's going to make a major difference in my future presentations.
Hello, my name is Tina with Insperity, and Insperity helps small businesses grow so they can make more money and give to the community. I really enjoyed Pina today. I'm Tina, she's Pina, but I enjoyed Pina because it really opened up an area that everyone can improve on. And it has a chance to look at yourself and say, gee, what can I do to tune my whole way that I look at my business and look at myself and just overall how I can do it better. So I really enjoyed Pina, and I would suggest that you talk to Pina as well and grow. Thank you very much.